Today we're looking at the Ordnance Survey's new offering of Open Zoomstack and how we can view this in ArcGIS Pro, along with looking at geopackages in Arc Pro.
Big thanks to Elleni for this original post, which you can find on GeoXchange, and I'll put a link for this in the description as always. We'll be working with the new open data from Ordnance Survey called Open Zoomstack today, and here it is on the OS site. And what Ordnance Survey are aiming to do with this is to give access to their data to a wider audience. Now, what we're going to be using is the geopackage version, and this ties in nicely with the previous video on geopackages in QGIS. Can we use them in ArcGIS Pro? Yes, we can. So I'm going to download this. You'll notice that the geopackage is zipped and it comes in at a whopping 3.8 gig. So I will begin downloading that by going to the bottom and hitting continue, I think. Is that right? Yes, and then I need to fill in all my details. So we'll come back to that in a minute once it starts downloading. Here we are in ArcGIS Pro with a new blank project, and after downloading the OS Open Zoomstack data, I'm just going to attach that geopackage to my databases folder within this project. Now I've got the project's called OS Zoomstack, and I've got the standard GDB that is default. I'm just going to right click on this and go to Add Database. And from here I'll go to where I saved my OS Zoomstack data. There it is. And I will OK that. So now in my catalogue pane, I've got the OS Open Zoomstack geopackage. Let's just expand that so you can see the file extension. And if I drop this down, you can see that we have all of these layers. Fantastic. So I'm just going to start a new map, and let's go to Insert, a new map. I'm just going to check what the CRS is of this map. Okay, so it starts out in Web Mercator Auxiliary Sphere, and I don't want that. So let's search by EPSG code 27700. And there's our British National Grid. That is what I would like to use. So I'm going to OK that. And then from the catalogue, I'm just going to drag in the airports and see if this works. And there's the airports of the UK. Very nice.
Now I should point out at this stage that some of these layers are very big. If we look in our catalogue, the contours, for example, is a huge file, and so if you drag this into your map, it is likely going to take a long time in order to draw it. Depends on how fast your machine is, but my machine kind of ground to a halt. Now, one thing that I have done is from the geopackage, I've actually copied all of these layers and put them into my standard default GDB that was created with the project. The reason for doing this is that we're going to use layer files later on in order to visualize the data, and it helps if they're in a GDB as opposed to a geopackage. And I'll show you why in a little while.
Here we are in GitHub on the OS page, and here's a bunch of layers that we can download. So I'm going to download the layers, save them into my project folder, and then we can use them as we need to.
Now I've saved my layer files and I've saved them into a folder called layers. So you can see here we've got 4 different representations of these data, and these are .lyr files. Now a layer file will reference the data and it will tell ArcPro how to draw it. So we're going to start off with the light layer. I'll just drag that into the map. And there it is. It says that it's added the data, but we still can't see anything. And if we drop this down, you can see a reference to each one of the layers, but they've all got these red exclamation marks next to them. And that means that ArcPro cannot find where these data are. So I'm going to help it out and just click on here, tell it where these data are. So there's names, Off you go, Arc, find the rest of them. And there you can see all of the red exclamation marks vanish, and we have a map. Now, the layer styling on this that the OS have put together, when you're zoomed out, the map is going to look very different to when you're zoomed in. So I'm just going to start zooming in and we can see how it changes. And it makes the drawing of this map much easier. And it's taking a little time to catch up, but you can see that we now have this base map. So that's pretty cool. Let's have a look at what the other ones look like. Once again, we have missing references. So if I just go to names, tell it where the names file is, then it should be able to find all the rest of them. And if I turn off the light layer, now I can see the night layer. Ooh, it's quite arresting. Very good. But you can see how these different stylings operate. And the last one that we've got is roads, I think. There we go. And let's have a look at the roads. And you can see that we've got 4 different types. We've got minor roads, local roads, regional, and national. And if we drop those down, we have different stylings according to our zoom level. So here we are at a very sort of local zoom level, and if I start zooming out, the roads actually look very different. So that's regional level roads, and there's our main ones. So a very nice offering from Ordnance Survey. And pretty cool that we can start making our own maps using the OS Open Zoomstack. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and please do keep the comments coming. But that's all for today. And again, thanks for watching. Happy mapping.